Hey, loved ones. This is Flag Bearer. I'm just taking a deep breath and just I'm so full of gratitude and appreciation. You know, I'm finally old enough that I think I can call myself an old man and not have somebody talk over me and say that, oh no, blah blah blah. I'm 73 years old. I've been aware of the greater good uh, as long as I can remember. Um, I've done my best, and at times it really wasn't very good. Um, However, I've given up several times. And as I grew spiritually, I have um, killed behavior within me that literally changed the way that my life flow went by making those decisions. Um, and most of all, I'm grateful that I've had people around me my whole life that encouraged me. They believed that I would get through it, and when I was through it, that I would be a good man, a good person. Um, our country, to me, and understanding honestly the corporation of the United States ended in 1999, um, and that they had bragged about it. Clinton had said that he was the last American president. I could go on and on with it. Um, but most of all, I'd like to say this. I am aware of suicide and its incredible impact upon everyone that loves you. If one chooses suicide, I would like them to know that it's the most violent and awful thing that they could ever do to those who love them. I'd also like to say that no matter what you have gone through, my God, my connection with God, who taught me that our Father, he said to me, our Father, which means that he put me on the same level as he through my commitment to seek the truth of his will for me and God's will for me, and to have the ability to continue when I've been in hell. As a younger person, I set up camp. Um, since my spiritual connection has deepened and gone forward, um, wow, it's the most incredible living connection that I have. Um, I'm never alone. You're never alone. You may not want to allow love and the the love of all loves, to lift and do and help and guide and teach us to just my challenge. I've seen different challenges on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. My challenge is, what would your heaven on earth look like? How would it manifest? What and I've been doing my best with it, and I'll tell you what, it has brought me such relief. However this thing goes, my God has said that the planets will come and go, and God will be there. And then he told me that no one can take me out of his hand. And I say his and this and that and the other because, to me, my mother gave me life. My father gave me the tools for it. And my mother helped me deal with the crises and assaults and all of the things that comes with wanting to be a pacifist, being a spoiled brat that thought that he was like the best thing since um, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So be your own friend. Once you start honestly being your own friend, it really helps you when it's frustrating with a friend, and you're able to give them patience and appreciation, uh, instead of mirroring their behavior or taking it personally. And when someone starts to be angry at you and you're not angry, um, ask them if there's anything that you can do for them. I know that sometimes, especially as a young man, uh, and having, you know, those things that we all have, or some of us have had a little more or a hell of a lot more than others, um, to work our way through that, learn to use our words. And I still am. My dog has done the most work with me since Pepper. When my dog Pepper and I were doing stuff, and my was not in a body illness. Um, my honey, uh, she's given me someone to work with to help her with some of her challenges, and to teach me, just like my children and my grandchildren and any child that I'm around. I've learned more from children on how to be a good adult than I ever learned from adults. Um, I have people that when I'm really down and I think of my Aunt Elsie, my mom, my grandmother, my dad, my big brother, but most of all, my sister Laura and I, we were our family, she used to say it this way, uh, Dottie and George and would and Dolores was one group, and that she and I was the other. And then she left home, you know, and my nephews came, and my sister Dottie came and brought a new vibe, a new direction in my life. She fell in love with E.H. Roberts, and they went away. And those times were very difficult for me, but I'll tell you what, now that I'm 73, a lot of what makes me the, the good parts that I'm so grateful for are engraved in me by the love that we had when things was simple. And I've heard it said, and I just have to echo it, when we were simple, we had more time for each other. We had more time for teaching each other. We were far more physically active. We were imagining things. Although the imagination and the creativity of this new stimulated by all this technology, uh, I see the attractions in these things, but with the pharma, um, and especially the pharma for me, as an immediate and should be obvious to everyone. Something has to be done to bring that into law, the Nuremberg Code, and the law of the land. Everybody talks about it, and my friends want to be angry, and believe me, a lot of things that go on with the the to, to me, I would like to have time to sit down with a guy named Russell J. Gold and a guy named Donald J. Trump. And then I could walk out after I had time with them, and and I mean some time, maybe meetings over 2 or 3 days, and it would have to be. I would trust those men to be very honest spiritually as far as bringing it to the table, and because these are really important times. There's going to be the destinies that are going to be really affected, and I would hope that an accurate uh, presentation would be possible for as many as possible, as soon as possible. It's down to we have they want to think it's environmental, and I want us to think it's environmental, and because of this and that and the other, and it's a grouping of things. The people who are putting us through these times have these plans, and they're ancient, and they've been doing it, I think, in about every 12,000 years, maybe. I don't know what the cycles are, but it's been cyclical, and they've been overdue because there's been a resistance to them on a spiritual manner of being able to capture our real powers and use them to enslave us. The whole system of controls and for the way that the United States government has acted uh, before Trump and after Trump, and the fact that that had to happen so that the final break could be where the system that Russell J. Gold has created to bring around uh, a clear, at least a clear deal to where there would be no fraud. It has to add up. My friends understand it a lot better than I do. What I do understand is that um, if we're going to work in a system like this, and still it leaves a lot of room for misuse of power. Um, and I believe that with the right team, that there's folks finding those folks who have been called to do this, like we have, that we have a chance. And I mean, I'm talking to every one of us, to whatever degree you are willing to commit to bring it, but understand that there's going to be a lot more listening done than shooting your mouth off. There's going to be a lot more work done than taking any kind of credit for it. And at the end of the day, no one's going to stand with you in the face of God, uh, in my understanding, except for you and for me. I know that Jesus Christ is going to be there because I have, whether I've represented him right or wrong, I have spoken for him with all my heart. And I believe in what we have created, the relationship that, and the proof of the breaking of the grave was to make me feel that all of the sins of all of my lifetimes are forgiven. And my job is to love, not a love, of a body thing or an attraction or a fascination or anything like that. A love that's what God literally is. There's a lot of science out there. And one of the things that I got a hold of early on is that something's holding all of these molecules and all of the different names for all of the different layers of all of the different aspects that we can measure or perceive. And it's love. It's love. And when the horror comes knocking, whatever it is that we would fascinate or bring to ourselves, uh, when it's all through, remember to call on God and give him glory, because you will wake up, and when you wake up, there you will be. I've always kind of seen it as you wake up on a beach, a warm beach, a sandy beach, and that will be basically restored and living. What kind of a life would we live if we do get unplugged? How are we going to deal with that as a people? If there's not electricity, if there's not gasoline, and if it would take a minute to run out and all this, and hopefully people are doing everything they can to get ready for this kind of thing just in case. What would we do? What are we going to do? Are we going to panic? Are we going to turn on each other? Are we going to allow criminal elements, Or have we been penetrated with all these people coming in from all these nations? Are the guns going to pop out, and are they just going to start killing everything that isn't them? Or will they come here and see a different life and maybe, hopefully, decide to band together with the people we have? Because if they do that, then they'll kill them at some point too. If we don't start taking care of each other as an important task and do our best for each other, so far I've understood in my 73 years that everybody dies. And I'm sure that there's people that have beat it that aren't from around here, or time travelers, or all these different things that could be from all these different realities that I've brought into my reality. The one reality that I want to bring into this thing is that no matter how, what has happened before you, who you are now, from now on, is what will echo in your forever. No matter how hard life knocks you down, no matter, or life, or whatever this thing forever is like, I pray the most benevolent outcome possible for you and for all of us. I pray that all are brought to love, of giving up on their life because it's become unmanageable. And it takes a power greater than us. That's just the truth. And it's said in many places, in many ways. When I surrendered, when I was running a community center, I had children, I felt really called, and I really needed to do something great. And I was offered an opportunity by no incredible guy named Vern Fries, who was in the 101st Airborne Artillery, I think it was, and ended up in supply, or however it went. He had some pretty incredible photos that went with him. And he gave me an opportunity to revive and bring my own life into a community center, the Federal Way Community Center at Brook Lake. And I had been praying for such a thing. I had a family and all, and I asked God for, some way to know for sure that it was my calling. And it was early in the morning. I went to the community center. There's a blueberry farm and a road that came up to the side of the community center, and an eagle dove off of a tree, went into the lake, grabbed a fish, and flew over me. And that was all I needed. So please, I'm just saying, no matter what we're going through, keep the faith. Keep the faith. I am going to do my best to keep violence to be my last resort. But some of the things that I'm aware of and some of the things I know, all I can do is promise that I'll do my best to keep anybody from being hurt to the very best of my abilities. I don't carry a gun. I don't know if I could kill a person, but I sure could pardon me. I sure could give my very best to hit them with a rock or anything that was around me. If they was shooting, stabbing, killing, uh, at least make them take that time, you know, to relieve me of my pain. So, and believe me, I would really like to be around. I I never had time with either one of my grandpas. They had passed before me, and I hope to really have some time in the future to um, have memories for my grandchildren of what their grandpa was a little bit about. So God bless you. Uh, I'm saying this because I would want anyone that I know that has seen me or wondered about me or, anything like that to know that I'm talking to you as I was talking to my God, to my most loved friends, family, my puppies, my kitties, my little world. I wish you the most and the best. And please never give up on yourself. Forever is a long time to wallow or to be in a slave or to be, anything other than what we are. Peace be with you. My name is Fred Pepper. I am just a flag bearer and hope to see you up the road.